We also have the founder and president of Article 3 Project and former law clerk to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch, Mike Davis. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. I have a first question for the both of you. How did we get here where the DOJ and the FBI can simply say, hey, you know what, Congress, we don't think we're going to comply with your oversight requests today? Ben, you first.
Well, as we've seen highlighted once again with the Durham report, these agencies, these institutions have been totally hyper-politicized and weaponized. No one from the high-level ranks on down has paid a price for it, and certainly not a severe price for it. And so consequently, the FBI and DOJ act with total impunity. And let's see, for example, if Christopher Wray is held in contempt. But beyond that, let's see if there's an effort to defund these agencies in whole or in part. They act with impunity because they haven't paid, however.
Well, you know what, Mike, I think that's a great point. I mean, the Republicans, they see all this malfeasance against them, and then they trip over themselves, Mitch McConnell and John Cornyn, they trip all over themselves to write checks for the very people who are doing these bad things against them. I mean, isn't the power of the purse, shouldn't that be exercised a little more aggressively, you think?
Absolutely. The FBI is out of control. They interfered in the 2016 election by burying evidence that Hillary Clinton had her illegal home server illegally hacked by foreign governments, and she had an illegal pay-for-play scheme at the Clinton Foundation. And instead of investigating this, they came up with the Russian collusion hoax to go after President Trump and hobble his presidency for 3 years. They interfered in the 2020 election, and they're interfering in the 2024 election by going after Trump for the Mar-a-Lago raid. This is a politicized and weaponized FBI, and it needs to be held accountable by Congress by defunding them.
Well, boy, howdy. Here it is, guys. This is just breaking news coming in right now. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has said to Congress, we're going to turn the FBI into a Democrat protection racket. You don't get to see all the malfeasance we know about these Democrats. The FBI is refusing to comply with a lawful subpoena. Let me just ask you, Ben, from my point of view, Christopher Wray ought to have his rear end in jail as soon as they can get these contempt charges filed. Am I wrong?
Well, on the merits, again and again and again, we've seen these agencies at the top levels abuse their powers to the nth degree. As Mike notes, on the one hand, they protect the friends of the regime, and on the other hand, they weaponize and use their powers against everyone from then President and then former President Trump on down to pro-life dads, parents who dare to care about what their kids are learning in their schools. Anyone who dares dissent from their ideology and who poses a political threat to them may well have the most preeminent counterterrorism authorities in the world used against them. And so, yes, the person who is the face of and who runs that agency ought to pay a severe price for abusing that authority, as should many others within the ranks of the FBI and at the DOJ as well.
No, Mike, should Christopher Wray be cooling his heels inside of the House jail if he continues on this course of refusing to comply?
He absolutely should be held in contempt of Congress, and if that means the House Sergeant at Arms goes and arrests him, so be it. The FBI thinks it's above the law because we've allowed them to be above the law for too long, and they need to be accountable to the American people through our elected representatives in Congress. The FBI is hiding evidence that then Vice President Joe Biden corruptly, illegally took a foreign bribe and changed American policy. That is the whistleblower complaint that went to my former boss, Chuck Grassley and James Comer. And FBI Director Chris Wray is covering this up.
He is, and it's absolutely unacceptable. And the FBI has been handling itself, as you both have alluded to. It's out of control. They got caught in even more massive illegal surveillance of we the people. New filings show the FBI used warrantless search powers, illegally so, 278,000 times in 2021 against our people. Foreign surveillance is supposed to be just that, not against Americans, against foreign actors. They cast a very wide net from George Floyd rioters to those connected with the January 6th riot. The Bureau says these errors, quote unquote, are unacceptable, and as a result, they have changed the query processes to ensure it doesn't happen again. But Ben, the Bureau only made these changes because they got caught. What's really truly going to happen if Congress doesn't get serious?
Yeah, well, we have a FISA reauthorization vote coming this year, and the question to members of Congress should be, given how these powers have been abused and weaponized against what has been cast as domestic enemies of the regime, how could you possibly in good faith go about reauthorizing those powers? And that is the real problem here, is that we live in a dangerous world with adversaries who want to work day and night to try and undermine us and ultimately dominate us. And yet the very powers that are supposed to keep us safe from those adversaries are being turned on Americans as if we are the Chinese Communist Party or we are Islamists. Yeah. And that shows you the dangerous mission creep that's happened across these agencies, and we can't tolerate it.
Mike, I've only got about 45 seconds, but not to put you fine a point on this, nobody elected Merrick Garland. Nobody elected Christopher Wray. They shouldn't have this power over our people, yes?
They should absolutely not have this power. And what Congress needs to do is use the power of the purse, gut the top leadership of the FBI, everyone from the director to the deputy director to these assistant directors, and including the assistant directors in charge of the field offices like the Washington field offices. The FBI's top leadership is rotten to the core. It's been politicized. It's been weaponized. We need new FBI leadership, wholesale new leadership.
Mike Davis and Ben Weingarten, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate the time as always.